There's a strange pattern happening right now. People are earning more money than ever before, better jobs, higher salaries, more opportunities, and yet somehow, they're still broke. Not just struggling, stuck. No real savings, no real wealth. Just a constant cycle of earning and spending. And here's the part that doesn't make sense. These aren't careless people. They're doing what they were told to do. Get a good job, work hard, earn more. So why does it feel like no matter how much they earn, they're not getting ahead? The answer isn't what most people think. Because the problem isn't your income. It's something far less obvious and far more dangerous. Let's take a typical example. Someone starts earning a decent salary. Maybe their first real paycheck feels life-changing. So naturally, they upgrade their life. They move into a better place, buy a nicer phone, start eating out more, maybe finance a car. Nothing extreme, just normal improvements. And at first, it feels like progress. But then something subtle starts to happen. A few months go by, then a year, and despite earning more, their bank account doesn't really grow. They're not struggling, but they're not building anything either. And that's where confusion kicks in. Where is all the money going? Because on paper, it should be enough. But in reality, it never feels like it is. Here's what's actually happening. Every time your income increases, your lifestyle quietly rises with it. Not dramatically, not all at once, but just enough to keep you in the same place. This is called lifestyle inflation, and it's one of the most powerful financial traps that exists, because it doesn't feel like a mistake. It feels like a reward. You worked harder, so you deserve better, and you do. But the problem is this. Your spending doesn't just increase, it becomes your new normal. What used to feel like a luxury now feels like a necessity. And once that shift happens, there's no extra money left to build wealth. You're earning more, but you're also spending more automatically, so your financial position doesn't really change. And the worst part, most people don't even realize it's happening. This doesn't just keep you stuck, it actually gets worse over time. Because as your income grows, your obligations grow with higher rent, bigger expenses, more commitments, and slowly, your financial flexibility disappears. Now imagine two people, both earn the same salary, but one increases their lifestyle every time they earn more, while the other keeps their lifestyle stable and invests the difference. At first, there's barely any difference, but over time, the gap becomes massive. Not because one earns more, but because one keeps more. That's the part people underestimate. Wealth isn't built from income alone. It's built from what you don't spend. Here's where things get even more subtle. It's not just the big expenses. It's the small, recurring ones. Subscriptions you barely use. Daily convenience spending. Food delivery. Impulse purchases. Individually, they seem harmless, but combined, they quietly drain your income every single month. And then there's something even more powerful. Social pressure. You see what others are doing, what they're buying, how they're living, and without realizing it, your standard shifts again. You start spending not just for yourself, but to keep up. And now it's not about need anymore. It's about identity. That's where money disappears the fastest. Think of it like this. Imagine you're trying to fill a bucket with water. Your income is the water, so you start pouring more and more into it. But there's a problem. There are small holes at the bottom of the bucket. At first, they don't seem like a big deal, but over time, those small leaks keep draining everything you add. So no matter how much more you pour in, the level never really rises. That's exactly how most people handle money. They focus on earning more, but ignore where it's leaking. And until those leaks are controlled, nothing changes. Now here's the uncomfortable truth. This isn't just personal behavior. It's also the system you're living in. Everything around you is designed to encourage spending. Advertising tells you to upgrade. Social media normalizes luxury. Credit makes things feel affordable, even when they're not. And the more you spend, the more the system benefits. No one is rewarding you for saving. No one is pushing you to invest. So the default path most people follow leads to staying stuck. Not because they're irresponsible, but because the system makes it easy. So what do you do instead? First, start paying attention. Track where your money actually goes. Second, separate income from lifestyle. Just because you earn more doesn't mean you need to spend more. Third, build the habit of keeping a percentage. Before you upgrade anything, decide what stays yours. And finally, focus on assets, not appearances. Because the truth is simple. Wealth isn't about how much you make. It's about how much you keep and what you do with it. Most people believe the answer to money problems is earning more, but that's only half the equation. Because if your habits don't change, your income won't save you. It will just scale the problem. And that's why so many people stay stuck, even with a good salary. Not because they can't earn, but because they never learn to keep.